The King of Fighters 96 is a fantastic fighting game on the SEGA Saturn. Released in 1996, King of Fighters 96 features a robust cast of characters and makes use of the 1MB RAM card. While in certain other fighters, that usually means very limited load times and blistering fast animations, here it means the game can simply run. Now I want to get the bad stuff out of the way right away. As you should know, the King of Fighters series is typically a 3 vs 3 fighter where you select which main character you want to use in which order, and then as each one is defeated you switch to the next character. So this isn't like the Marvel vs Capcom series where you switch out at any given time. Now obviously that's not bad. After each character is defeated, the game has to load in the next character, thereby restarting the stage music as well. And I really find this hurts the continuity of matches and pulls you right out of the action. So that's the bad thing, the load times. In fact, there's so much loading that I was curious if the RAM cart was even being used, so I checked, and it was. Can you imagine how much loading there'd be without the RAM cart? Now this always amazed me, as I have the MVS cartridge of the King of Fighters 96 and there's no loading whatsoever. Yes, it doesn't have all the incredible Red Book audio soundtrack like this version of the game does, but damn, what a difference in the overall package. I'll take the MVS version any day, thank you very much. Okay, now with that out of the way, everything else about this import is fantastic. Yes, I didn't mention that before, but this is indeed an import title, as it was never released in North America, but you gotta hand it to SNK, man. They have always been a very cool company. They knew people would import this game, so they actually have, in the options, a English language setting that turns the whole game into English. How awesome is that? I already mentioned that the soundtrack was fantastic, but the graphics are also great. There's lots of frames of animation, incredible backgrounds, and lush load screens. Yes, you read that right, lush load screens. I like the fact that they have portrait artwork, and they have this for all the different characters, and I find they look great. SNK is known for creating lively backdrops, and that's evident here. I mean, just look at these backgrounds. You have your partner characters cheering you on, you have people enjoying the match, and so much more. The stage intros are also a personal favorite of mine. In terms of the fight system, players can control the height of jumps and can roll in and out. You also have access to a power gauge to pull off super special moves. Character balancing is in full swing here, and the roster is much more balanced than in previous entries. However, considering this is the third entry in the series, there were a bunch of new characters that were introduced, including the likes of Kasumi, Leona, Mature, Vice, Geese, Wolfgang, and Mr. Big, and some of those new characters are a little bit unbalanced. I should also say that the artificial intelligence is not quite as punishing as it was in the King of Fighters 95. Gameplay modes include survival, team, and single tournaments, as well as a classic versus mode, so ultimately there's a lot of options here for those that get into the game. On the SEGA Saturn, the biggest fighters people talk about are the two versus games, Street Fighter Alpha 3 and the Darkstalker games. But don't let the 3 available King of Fighters pass you by. Yes, this one features a lot of loading, and King of Fighters 95 requires a Japanese Saturn to play, but believe me, the quality of these fighters is absolutely top-notch. It's just, can you put up with the load times? If you can't, then I would recommend playing this game on one of the more modern platforms it was released on. But if loading isn't an issue for you, then go check this one out.